Hey everybody, and welcome to game number 9 of the season for the Orange. Our Perry's Inside Scoop. Coach Babers alongside. And Coach, I can't imagine how excited you are just to be back at home. It's the first time in more than a month, basically an unprecedented stretch away from home. We know how it's gone, and now you get to see some friendly surroundings.
Yeah, there's no place like Dome. This is the longest I've been away from home in 39 years of coaching, but I'm excited to be back here.
When you do come home, how hopeful are you, and what does it take to kind of get some of those characteristics, the things that have bothered you on the road, you can have those work in your favor?
Well, we've always had a great home crowd, and to have them getting after the other team's offense and making it difficult for them to hear and communicate is a part of the game. And that's one of the advantages of being at home, and we hopefully are going to have that advantage on Friday.
Let's talk about climate and just sort of the attitude you get. I know you've had to spend a lot of time, maybe you haven't spent time on it, but it's a big part of what you call on right now. You mentioned the captains. You have 6 captains. Who's doing the work here to keep the team in the right frame of mind?
Well, I think, it's like a family. The coaches are the moms and the dads, and the captains are the older brothers and older sisters that are keeping all the younger siblings in line and make sure the family's all moving in the same direction.
Is there a keeping in line? Is there a correction that's needed? Is it just sort of staying the course? What's the pulse on what you're feeling?
I think it's all those things. I think that you need to stay the course. I think we're trying to be 1-0 again to get back in that win column. We're at 500 right now. And then the other thing is we make sure that you're crossing T's and dotting I's. You're not letting anybody slip through the cracks, because everybody needs to make sure they're accountable to everyone else.
That last game was coming off a bye, or half a bye, I guess. You'd have a Thursday game after not having won the previous Saturday. We talk about getting out recruiting. We talk about self-scouting. When there's a slow start after a game like that, I know it has to be especially disappointing. What changes this week? You go from a Thursday game into a Friday, but obviously there's some work to be done there.
We did a lot more. We changed the way we did practice. We started doing a lot more one-on-one work. We wanted the good guys to feel the good guys and not be going against 2s and 3s and scout team guys and that. So we did more teamwork, which may not help us as far as with the schemes we're going to see, but it was definitely going to help us with the speed that we need to be at to start fast.
Yeah, we'll get into Boston College's scheme here and playing the Eagles regularly in just a bit. Your evaluation of your team at the moment, that has to evolve, right, over the course of the season, because of when you have personnel changes and injuries and attrition, you become a different team, different makeup over the course of the year. What do you feel like you have right now in terms of strengths? And when you line up and you game plan and you try to make Syracuse the best that Syracuse can be on game day, how do you go about it?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you need to play to your strengths and not your weaknesses. I'm not going to give a full report card, but the guys that play really good, they need to touch the ball a lot. And the guys that don't play so good, they need to touch the ball a little. But you got to match. There's an intensity that I feel that we're giving great effort, but we're losing a little bit in the details. We got to get the details right so that when we're giving that good effort, we can see the fruit of all that.
Is that the biggest part of it? To me, the Virginia Tech game was marked so much by, first down penalties. Your first couple of possessions, you're going backwards. The early 3 and outs, you just were in such a hole right from the beginning. What more can be done? I know it's obviously frustrating to you. You're not coaching penalties to happen, but when you assess, hey, how do you start faster, start on the front foot, what are the things you reach for?
I think the biggest thing was the atmosphere at Virginia Tech. We knew it was going to be a big-time atmosphere, especially on Thursday night. It was really loud. We practiced against really loud. And, we had 1 or 2 offensive linemen jump in the first 2 series, and it cost us on down and distances. You need to be able to adjust to it, and I think as the game got along, we didn't have those penalties anymore, but coming out of the gate, it stopped us from starting fast.
BC this week, and interesting, not only does this series go back quite a bit, it seems like the rivalry kind of juices were flowing in recent games the last couple of years, and so I know that's a part of it. And then with the new scheduling model coming out this week, rightfully so, Syracuse and Pitt and BC aren't getting away from each other anytime soon.
Yeah, it's the old Big East, and we're going to be going against each other. And it's truly a rivalry game. I mean, we talk about Pitt, we talk about BC, but there's something about BC and Syracuse that makes people want to come and watch, because there's normally, as they say, a lot of giving somebody the business type stuff going on. But I hope it's a lot cleaner than last year. Last year I thought it was a little we need to bring it back to football and move it a little bit away from what really went on in last year's game.
All right, fitting. Happens to be that both teams play in some of the tightest facilities in America, small sidelines both in Chestnut Hill and here. And let's look for a good, clean show on Friday night, and should be exciting inside the Dome. A couple things to hit you on. One would be BC's nature of play. They have really improved over the course of the season. Shaky start. They've won 4 in a row, and they commit to running the rock as much as anybody in the league.
There's no doubt. They get those big guys, and they get them all shoe to shoe, and they have a change quarterbacks who has excellent legs, makes plays with his legs, scrambles around, and makes plays with his arms off the scramble, and they play to their defense. Their defense doesn't play a lot of snaps, but when they play, they're physical and they play extremely hard.
And the last thing I want to finish on is a thought about Dwight Freeney, selected rightfully so for the College Football Hall of Fame. Someday he'll be in Canton in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well. Can you use his tape as a teaching material now and that type of thing? What does he mean to the program right this minute?
First of all, he is an amazing person. The way he played the game was absolutely amazing, and I'm not sure people realize when you look at him, he's not a big freakish person. He's not as tall as everybody thinks he is. But when the ball is snapped, he's freaky and he's special, and God just decided that he was going to make somebody that was different, and he says, okay, there you go, Dwight Freeney, see how you guys handle that. And when I watched him in college and I watched him in the pros, most people didn't handle it very well.
I'll be the first to tell you that his moves were really kind of to compensate for not being the biggest, fastest, strongest necessarily. Now, he did have tremendous gifts as well, but his spin move is second to none. What type of message, I know he's going to be around the team a little bit, a good time for that, right? What type of message can he give?
He's going to have an opportunity to give, and I'm excited to see what he might say. But there's so many things that he can talk about. But if he talks about the competitive, the privilege, the honor of representing Syracuse, the ability to maybe sometimes do things when people doubt that you can, I think anything like that would be an extreme positive to the team.
All right, one of the all-time greats. We'll be looking forward to having him back this weekend. Thanks for being with us, folks, on another Perry's Inside Scoop.